Would love for everyone to introduce themselves. So Chef Molly, how about we go to you?
Guys, so Chef Molly is one of my titles. I always say if you've ever watched the movie Forrest Gump, my chefness has come kind of from that. But I come from a really big family. I'm named after our great grandmother, who in our lives, Brandy, probably our big mamas, right? And she has over almost 600 offspring. So I grew up cooking. My dad was really adamant about us girls being able to cook and take care of ourselves. And for many, many years, if you know me outside of Chef Molly, I've been in the music industry for a very long time, and late nights in the studio, they don't, it's hard to get good food, right? So, me being the mother hen, big sister of all these cats, I just decided, it's not fun to have to eat out of a box, and I've studied food for many, many years and how you need brain foods to function, right? So we didn't want to get the itis late night in the studio, so I had to chef it up. For 15 years, I cooked, and I've done many, many dinners for record release parties and for the press for many years. I've had the press for 15 years in the hip hop and R&B world in my buildings. So for me, teaching Mike Will and a lot of these producers that are normally, we all learn to eat the same. If you're a Black person, you learn how to eat from where your grandparents and other people eat. And they think, all the butter and fried chicken and biscuits and macaroni and cheese should be an everyday thing. And we know we all love that, right? We love that, but it's not an everyday. Dave is like, we love it, but it shouldn't be an everyday thing. And my journey for health and wellness, I gained about 30 pounds in the studio late night, drinking cognac and eating mac and cheese that I made for everybody. And I made a decision that I wasn't really happy and wondered why am I not happy? So my study for the human brain and foods and how foods that we eat affect our gray and white matter. So you wonder like, oh Lord, why am I depressed, Father? Oh Lord. Well, because you're not drinking enough water and you're not eating the right foods. And what ends up happening is you become depressed because your gray and white matter's off. So that's been a big thing for me. I'm the founder of the Earth Girl movement, which is a movement for women of color. It got rocking in 2008 because we had some women that were Girl Scouts at the time that are now in their late 20s, mid and late 20s, who are part of the movement all over the country. But in Atlanta, our HBCU girls, and I know a bunch of them are on right now, so I want to say hi to my Earth Girls from everywhere, from Clark, Spelman, Howard, we're in Florida, we're all over the place. So I just want to say hi to everybody and just let you guys know that I'm really super honored to be here with WW and all you awesome women. I actually, Maya and Brandy, follow you guys and your journeys, and all you wonderful women. It's just an honor to be here. Faven and I are new best friends, so we are going to, she's actually at the cabin, at the Earth Girl cabin, so we're going to have a party downstairs when we're done here.
I love that, all of these amazing connections. Faven, would love to hear from you.
Thanks, Maya. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you for showing up for us, but more importantly, thank you for showing up for yourselves. My name is Faven, and I am a WW360 wellness coach. And I think, Brandy, what you said about boundaries really resonated with me because I have never been a boundaries person until recently. And the need for boundaries and the need for prioritization of myself hit me in the face. And I was forced to recognize that no one is going to prioritize me if I don't prioritize me. And I think, again, Brandy, something you said, we as Black women and as Black women with bodies, we go, am I valuable? I don't look like this person that's on the cover of a magazine. And so I'm not sure that I'm allowed to have a boundary, because if I have a boundary, maybe then I'm pushing people away, or I'm blocking my blessings. Right. And so wellness to me is all encompassing. It is the water that you drink. It's the food that you put into your body. It's the phone calls you choose to make and the phone calls you choose not to take. And it is this thing that becomes your motivation to move forward. And I think my motto, or the way that I'm trying to live my life, is that every decision I make, every decision is moving you forward. And I don't care if it's like a centimeter forward, but it's forward. And wellness is the foundation of being able to move forward for me.
Amazing. I feel like this is like a soul conversation right now. Like, so amazing. Jeydah, let's hear from you. Would love to hear kind of about your background. I know you're a college girl and how you've prioritized your wellness journey.
Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here with you lovely ladies today. I am Jeydah Jenkins, and I am the 33rd Miss Clark Atlanta University elect. And thank you. And I also have a business of my own. It's called Empanadas, and it's a business where I sell authentic Dominican empanadas that I learned from my grandmother. So just a little background, my family is from the Dominican Republic, and every holiday, every Thanksgiving or Christmas, my grandmother would sit us down and we would learn her recipe, because in the Dominican Republic, she was known as the empanada lady. So she taught us her recipes, and all of the women in our family used to sit, and sometimes we would tweak the recipes, sometimes we couldn't quite make it just like her. You can never make it just like her. And so I decided to bring that to my HBCU, the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. And I decided to do that because there's a lot of people, it's a lot of diversity here on campus. So we have some people who are familiar with empanadas, and it gives them a sense of being home. And there are others who have never had an empanada. So it's really just giving them a chance to experience something. And I really just think that that's very important, because when you think of college, a lot of people think of the freshman 15 and gaining weight and not eating properly. So I really want to thank you guys for having me here so I can talk about the college experience of it all.
That's amazing. I love that you're bringing this representation when it comes to food and your culture to your campus. I think that's so important. I mean, I remember back at Howard, me and all my line sisters, I'm a Delta, we would get together and we would have potlucks and we would just share space and we'd all bring food, and it was just such a fond memory. So I'd love to hear from each of you about kind of just digging deeper into your personal relationship with food and any memories that you have that have really stuck with you. So how about we start with you, Brandy?
We're talking about good memories or bad?
Whatever comes up for you. This is a safe space.
I mean, being totally honest and transparent, the first thing you said, relationship with food, was me knowing that I am an emotional eater. And so that had been a really big piece of my journey, of just realizing, you have a bad day at work, you're going to go eat some food, or even just boredom, sometimes like you're not even hungry, you're just eating for no reason whatsoever. So I think that was a really key piece of realizing what was my motivation behind eating, a lot of times, and kind of getting a hold on that first and foremost, which is the piece, a lot of people talk about. If you're trying to do any type of health journey, so much of it is emotional and not physical. And I think sometimes we don't understand what that means. And you think, oh, it's just the dedication, but sometimes there are just deeper issues, underneath, that you kind of need to work through. And so that was important for me. And I think, just like Tunde said too, it's also celebration. You think about graduation. We all went out to eat. People came into town just to eat a dinner, to celebrate that moment. And so it's great, but it can be a difficult thing to really navigate. And so I think the older I get, just the more comfortable you get with your personal choices. I remember I wrote a piece about that. I hated the conversations that women in particular would have around food, where they would almost feel guilty about what they would eat. They'd order something and say, oh, please, somebody share this. I can't eat it all. I can't, or, I shouldn't have this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Or, I worked out today, so I can't have this. Just all this guilt, instead of just, this is what I want to eat. It's my choice, whatever it is. And you don't have to explain that to anyone else. So it really is getting comfortable with your personal choices, but also making them with other people. And so that is, kind of a constant work in progress, I think, but I'm happy with where I am with that now.
That's amazing. I love that because I think that we all have felt the stress of this year, and it's been a struggle. And finding comfort in how we approach food and evolving our relationship with food is so important. I also wanted to ask about balance because we had this theme of boundaries, right? And I think that is just so hard to kind of strike a balance. So I'd love to hear from you, Faven, just how you've maintained a balance while you prioritized your boundaries, and how you've also made your health and your wellness and your food journey play into that.
It's not easy, right? And it's an everyday management of balance. And I think what people sometimes think is when you're on this wellness journey that it's just going to click and you're going to reach this goal that you have for yourself, and then that's going to be your new normal, right? And so for me, I think at WW, we believe that there's 4 pillars of wellness, right? It's not just about the food that you eat, but it's about how you move your body, and it's about how much sleep you're getting, and it's about your mindset. Our mindsets have all been in a total trauma state for the last, 18 months, right? And we're not acknowledging that, especially as a Black community. We're not acknowledging that we have gone through a major trauma, and that as a Black community, we love to celebrate. We love the food. And I'm part of that, right? My dad is a chef, and my mom is someone who can close her eyes, go like this in a cabinet, and make a masterpiece. So like we eat at my house, and that still happens. And that's part of something that I love. And what's so important when you're talking about balance, and when I think people think about, when they think about a weight loss journey or a wellness, journey, they think, oh, I can't have X. I can't have a glass of wine because I didn't take a walk. And at WW, we teach that everything is on the menu. And if you're not living a life that you love to live, your wellness journey is not going to be successful. If you are living in a state of deprivation and you really want a cheeseburger and you're going to have carrots and celery instead, I promise you, sis, you're going to eat more calories around those celery and carrots than you would have you just eaten what you wanted to eat, right? So it's not about the food only. It's about figuring out how to craft this life that every single day you feel fulfilled, and not necessarily by food, but because, to Tunde's point, if you're not a runner, and don't sign up for a marathon, don't take on something because you think you're supposed to do it, right? Find the thing that you love to do. I get to go cook downstairs with Chef Molly in just a little bit because we love to be in the kitchen, and we're going to try new flavors, and we're going to experiment, and it's not just about, okay, I can't eat this because I have to look like this, or I want to feel like this, right? It's about your whole person and your whole body, and including your mind, and how many moments of gratitude are you taking during a day, right? So like we could talk about this balance for forever because it's so incredibly important, and there's so many different elements to it. But the one thing I want people to leave with today is that, like, you can have everything you want, right? You can have the life you want, and you can eat and drink the things you want. We just have to figure out how to make that work with the lifestyle that you have. And we teach you how to do that. We practice it every day. I'm a member first. I was a member way before I was a coach, and I still sometimes eat Oreos for breakfast, right? And that's like, that's part of your life. It's part of your life. It ebbs and it flows.
I love that. That is so important. We have to embrace it all. And Chef Molly, I wanted to know, I can remember back in my college days having, being on a budget. So I wanted to know from you, what would be your advice for kind of the crucial ingredients we should look for, or the cooking tips we should think about for our college attendees when they are trying to prioritize their wellness, but might not have all of the resources?
I think it depends. If you're in a dorm, what you gonna do? You're gonna have a small crock pot? You're gonna have a small air fryer? I mean, you can do that, right? you can do that. But if you don't choose to do that, I think we all need to relearn how we eat food. Because we all think we got to have 3 square meals a day. That's BS. That was capitalism telling you eat this so the food business can grow, right? I studied food and I studied the Food and Drug Administration. I think this. Let's get back to eating clean, right? So if I was in college right now, what would I do if I didn't have a lot of money? I'd go to Aldi's, I'd go to Kroger, I would go to all these organic areas in the stores, food line that you think are going to be so expensive because it says organic. People ain't checking for the organic side because they think it's too expensive. So if you're going to go eat for a day, in my opinion, instead of popping by Chick-fil-A or whatever you're going to do for $10, $11, $12, you can go get you some carrot sticks, some hummus. If you're not into hummus, do some peanut butter and some celery. You can eat differently. Like I had a friend who was like, you know what, I'm just going to grab a bag of lettuce and just eat it out of the bag. I mean, our grandparents ate off of farms. So my suggestion is go back to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm not big into bread or wheat, but you can eat Ezekiel's. There's things that you can do to retrain yourself and relearn. Mm-hmm. If I was a college student that had an apartment and had a stove or an oven, I would be on that broiler all day long. I do 1-pan dishes all day. I put vegetables on a pan. I put some aluminum foil down. I put vegetables. If you ate fish, I put fish. If you ate steak, I'm not into food shaming, although I'm a vegetarian. I was vegan 14 years and I started eating meat and I went back to vegan. Now I'm eating some fish. I say eat what your body tells you to eat. Everybody's different, right? Mm-hmm. I can't tell you what to cook or what to do because your body will tell you. My sister loves sweets, and I will go and get her a caramel chocolate if that's what she wants to do. So does Faven. For me, I'm a salty person. So, I would say go to your grocery store that's not the most expensive one. Find little things for yourself. Make your own little snack bags. That's what I started doing. I get the eco-friendly Ziploc bags. I'm super about the earth, so I'm not into plastic. And I would say, you know what, I'm making my own granola. How about I'm going to snack all day? I'm going to retrain myself on how to eat. Mm-hmm. For me right now, I make a smoothie. Go get a blender. Go get a NutriBullet. Go get whatever kind of bullet. And if you have a freezer, get your frozen fruit. Get you a powder. There's certain powders that I use that are organic. And that's what tells your brain, oh, God, I have what I need to study. You need it. You need vegetables. If you don't eat vegetables and you don't eat fruits, it's just something that you don't do. Grab a smoothie. You can put some honey or agave in it, a little bit of almond milk. If you drink milk, do your milk, do you. But, I would say get a smoothie maker, go get snack all day. Mm-hmm. You don't have to eat a burger, fries, and a soft drink. You don't have to eat a steak, some broccoli, and this. We've been taught to eat this certain way. You can snack all day, or you can go, you know what, tonight I may just have some hummus, some carrots. You know what, I'm going to slice myself an apple, have some fruit. Dang, I'm hungry. I want some more chips. Balance it out like Faven said. You can eat whatever you want to. It's about balance, right?
Absolutely. I agree. Smoothies
I can talk to you guys all day about what you're going to do in your dorm rooms or your apartments to eat healthy and cheaper, but go to the grocery store. Spend some time there and make it your you time. That's your self time, self-care.
Such good advice. Smoothies have been saving my life. They're so easy. I have been eating a plant-based diet and eating mainly a lot of vegan food over quarantine, and my skin has never looked better in my life, y'all. The glow is so real. So totally believe that. We have to come to a close, but I wanted to end on you, Jeydah. As a college student, you are living the experience and you are doing amazing at it, clearly. I wanted to know what it's been like for you in terms of prioritizing food and your health and wellness, being busy with classes and your extracurricular activities, what your experience has been like.
Well, thank you. And I'm just going to be very transparent. Sometimes it's really hard. I'm actually preparing for finals week now. And so for the past few days, I've been like, am I going to order a pizza? I'm really tired. I don't feel like cooking right now. I just can't do it. I'm going to pull an all-nighter. I don't have the time to stop and make a healthy meal. So what I've been doing recently is just making sure that I meal prep, make sure that I have time for myself. Maybe on a Sunday, I make food for the next few days. And I love the fact that we were just talking about crock pots, because I do have a crock pot, I do have an air fryer, I do have a blender just for quick fixes and things of that nature. And I will honestly say that if you're a college student on a budget, potatoes, rice, fish, and chicken will take you a very long way. I would say to get ingredients that you can make different things out of, because sometimes you have picky eaters. I'm a picky eater myself, and you don't want to eat the same thing every day. So just make sure that you have different ways to make sure that you feel good, especially as a college student. And we have finals coming up. If your body's not healthy, your brain is not together, if your stomach is not all in the same on the same timeline, you're not going to do well. And I always say you can't do well if you're not your best self. So I would definitely say to make sure that you have time to prioritize your body and your mind, and that will affect your growth later.
Yes, mind, body, soul, it's all connected. Well, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to our amazing panelists and for everyone's transparency and vulnerability around this really important conversation when it comes to food. I believe now we're going to get into an amazing cooking demo. I cannot wait to check out the recipes from you, Chef Molly. So thank you all.